Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. So, today I'm going to be talking about how being beautiful has been really hard for me over the years. My first experience dealing with being treated differently was really early in my childhood. And me personally, I love looking back on moments like this to analyze where everything all started out. So, when I was really young, I had no idea I was beautiful because I wasn't worried about any of the aesthetics. I just wanted to go play and have fun like any other child. And my mom, she would dress me up like a little doll. I always had the cutest clothes and my hair was always done. And people would always tell my mother how cute I looked. And I never knew this because I was young and I don't really remember much of the positive stuff. But what I do remember was when I got to kindergarten, a lot of girls would pick on me for the smallest things. I remember them saying to me, like, oh, you think that you're cute? And they would tell me all of these really nasty things to tear my self esteem down. And at the time, I had no idea that these girls were doing this because they were jealous and intimidated by me. And unfortunately, I took a lot of what those girls had to say about me personally. I internalized those things, and it wasn't just girls my age who said horrible things about me, it was girls who were older than me as well. It was like they always had something to say about me. Every time my hair was done or I would have on a nice outfit, they always had something to say. And as a young girl, all of that teasing had a negative effect on me, and I took it personally. Because of that, I stopped wanting to dress up because I thought it would be easier for me if I kind of just became a background character. And from that point is when my glow down started. And from the ages of 9 to 16 years old, I spent it having low self-esteem due to the bullying and teasing I experienced from the other young black girls around me. And for the most part, being a background character worked. I didn't deal with women being rude to me or girls being nasty to me. If anything, at that time, that was when I had the most friends, is when I stopped wanting to dress up. But when I got to 17 years old, I decided I wanted to have a bit of a glow up. And doing that changed everything for me. I didn't even realize I was a pretty girl until I was 18, because that was when I started to look my best. I became more confident and I put more effort into my health and appearance. So I was doing my hair, I learned how to do my makeup. And like I said, my whole reality just changed. I had a great time experiencing the positives of pretty privilege for the first time. But on the other hand, I started to go through the dark side of pretty privilege. The more beautiful I became, I started to lose my closest friends, and I experienced women being really mean to me again, especially in the workplace, and surprisingly from women who were older than me. I realized a lot of downsides of pretty privilege are caused by jealous people, period. But most of the time, it's jealous women trying to come in and mess with your self-esteem so you won't try to do better. And this was something that I wish I would have learned in my childhood. But as an adult woman, I had been through so much stuff that when I started to see women become jealous again and lose the women around me, I realized what the issue was. And have y'all noticed that a lot of time these women go out of their way to do weird things to get your attention? A lot of them will try to laugh loud enough to where you can hear it. They'll try to bring you down by spreading lies and rumors and saying smart things under their breath. It's just really childish behavior to try to get your self-esteem down to as low as theirs. And I hate that. And I would say being a beautiful black woman has been really hard for me simply because other women have gone out of their way to humble me like that my entire life. It's like as soon as I come into a room, other women have been immediately intimidated by my presence. And this is something I've been dealing with forever. And I could never really put it into words what I was going through because I simply just thought I was crazy. And when you try to go to the black female spaces online to try to find stories that relate, for years, I could never find something that I could relate to until I stumbled across the Exoticals channel. And then I heard other women's experiences that sounded exactly like mine. And it kind of woke me up to realize that this whole time I was never ugly. This entire time I was beautiful, but I went through a life of people trying to humble me. And it's very trippy to realize that after all these years, because, when people bully you and say mean things, you tend to believe it, especially if they're trying to get other people in on the bullying as well. So I think that this community has been fantastic for me realizing my own beauty. And it taught me how to process everything that I went through in my childhood, but it also taught me to take the situations that I have now with envious and jealous women with a grain of salt, because I realize these women are doing this because they're intimidated by me, and that it's not my fault, and that I'm not evil or anything, or I've done nothing wrong. It's just people are jealous. And very recently, I had a situation like this as an adult woman. I walked into a building of where I would potentially be working, and while the manager was giving me a tour, we walked past a room where there was this older woman just glaring me down. It was almost as if she wanted to attack me. It was the look of just pure jealousy, hatred, and envy. I never spoke to this woman before at all. I never even knew who she was. That was my first time being there. But she looked like she wanted to hurt me. And it was really scary. I never saw anything like that ever. I ended up not taking that job because I already saw the potential disaster of what would have happened had I decided to work there. I'm a beautiful young woman, so I have so many more opportunities anyway. And one thing I refuse to deal with now are women like that. Because women like that who just hate you for no reason, even though they don't even know who you are, they are willing to do anything to get your self-esteem as low as theirs. And most of the time, they will do anything to get you out of there and to make your life miserable because they don't want to be reminded of their own shortcomings in life. And it pisses them off to see a woman who looks better than them and is younger than them come in and potentially steal their spotlight and surpass them in life. Personally, if anybody is going through this, I don't think it's worth trying to stay and stand up to these women, because a lot of time the self-hate they're dealing with is so deep-rooted that a lot of them don't mind lying on you or potentially getting violent to basically get you out of there. And I've heard stories of women who've had women put hands on them in situations like this, and they were the ones that got fired. Like, can you imagine? And a lot of times when you are a beautiful woman in these situations, people don't give you any sympathy because everyone will automatically think you started the problem. And of course, they're going to believe the person who's been there longer than somebody who just came in. And honestly, I thought as an adult, it would be guaranteed that childish behavior like this would stop after high school, because I'm thinking like, hey, we're all trying to make money and pay our bills and just get through our day to day. But unfortunately, it doesn't stop. Some people out here, even though they have every issue in the world, they still have time for drama, hate, and toxic behavior because everything in their life is so toxic. They need an escape from everyone dumping things on them because in the real world, they get no attention, and outside of work, they're nobodies. So what they have to do is when a beautiful person comes in, they have to attach themselves to them because that is the only way that they get attention. And when you realize this, it helps you get over these moments. But I'll have to be honest, it is very painful going through these things, because when you are a pure and kind person and you don't want to hurt anybody, it gets to you because you just have to just sit back and think, why are people so rude to me and I'm so nice to them? So yeah, that was a little rant for today. Just trying this whole thing out, and yeah, give me some feedback and let me know what y'all think. Have y'all ever been through a situation like this before where you've dealt with a envious woman? And honestly, just let me know how tired you are of it, because I am exhausted with this stuff.